ang Basta Dabawenyo. Pilipinas, maraming salamat po sa pagtutok na naman sa inyong paboritong programang Basta Dabawenyo. At ngayong gabi, meron po tayong mga espesyal na bisita na makakasama. Una po dyan ang ating 3rd District Congressman ng Davao City, Congressman Isidro C. Bunga. Magandang gabi po.
Good evening, maayong gabi, magandang gabi sa lahat ng ating mga viewers tonight. Happy to be back here at Basta Dabawenyo. Well, the topic is very interesting again.
Welcome back, Kong, no? And magiging suki ka na dito, Kong. I think this is one of the many episodes. And we are very thankful to our fellow Filipinos na talagang tumututok and trying to be informed also, especially on these topics na ating pag-uusapan ngayong gabi. And of course, mga kababayan, sasamahan po tayo ng isa pang special na bisita ngayong gabi, ang ating former Secretary ng Department of Budget and Management, Attorney Wendell Avisado.
Magandang gabi, Harvey. Magandang gabi po sa ating mga kapatid na patuloy na nagsusubaybay dito sa Basta Dabawenyo. First time po dito and I'm so excited to be here. Salamat po.
Attorney, welcome po and thank you very much for joining us this evening together with Congressman Sid. Gaya nga nang na-mention, no, diretso na tayo sa topic. Last week, Congressman Sid, meron tayong inilabas na information hinggil nga dito sa questionable bicameral report last week together with the former President Duterte. That was our discussion. And after that episode, Congressman and Attorney, pinag-usapan ng buong Pilipinas itong BICAM report. Kasi nga, pinresent natin na Congressman Sid na there were items, you found out that there were items, certain items in the bicameral report na blanco. So actually yun yung naging punto talaga at center ng ating discussion. Nag-create ng maraming discussion and even Malacanang and even the President himself released a statement regarding that particular issue. Of course, they denied and they were saying na wala namang blanco doon sa GAA. Pero ang punto nga, you also released, Congressman, no, a statement immediately after na yung bicameral report naman ang pinag-uusapan natin. Yun nga, and a lot of Filipinos were actually agreeing with you. You've had many interviews, Kong Sid, from the day we released that information until now, Kong. Ano ba ang developments on this discussion?
Yes, after that interview, ang daming statements, may reply nga yung official reply, yung executive department. Well, I think we made this clear already in our rejoinder at saka sinabi ko rin sa ilang interview that what we said here sa Basta Dabawenyo episode last week was yung sinabi namin, nakita namin sa Bicameral Conference Committee report na maraming pages na merong blank items and we discussed that lengthily kasi ito naman yung magiging basis sa pag-finalize ng enrolled bill sa General Appropriations Act. But siguro mas maganda siguro kung we start with describing the entire process of the
Correct.
preparation of the budget para maintindihan kasi naririnig nga yung mga listeners, na mga viewers na BICAM report,
Correct.
GAA. So, para lang maintindihan ng lahat kung ano talaga ang budget process, let us start with the budget preparation. Yung start talaga, nandito si Wendell galing to sa DBM. So, alam na alam din ito yung procedure. Ang una talaga dyan, yung DBCC, Development Budget Coordinating Committee. It is composed by, of course, DBM, Department of Finance, NEDA, saka Central Bank, kasama dyan. Sila yung nagsiset ng development goals. Kasi lahat naman yung ating ginagawa sa budget, naka-base yan sa Philippine Development Plan. So, meron kang Philippine Development Plan, meron ka ring medium-term development plan. Then magtawag na ng budget call yung DBM. Yung individual agencies magpe-present yun ng kanilang kanya-kanyang budget doon sa DBM. So they defend it sa DBM. So pag nakumpleto na yung lahat ng agencies, ko-consolidate ng DBM yon, assisted by, of course, nandiyan yung may economic team to review, gagawa na sila nung budget proposal. Yung budget proposal nila, consolidated into what we call the National Expenditure Program. Yung National Expenditure Program na yan, usually, that's submitted by the President to Congress, particularly the lower house, 30 days, within 30 days after the opening of session of Congress. Yung para madali matandaan, within 30 days after the SONA, kasi pag SONA, nandiyon yung Presidente, sinasubmit yung budget. So, President submits the budget to the House of Representatives, usually the Speaker and the Secretary General receive that, then i-schedule yan for first reading. Yan yung tinatawag na first reading. First reading, i-refer yan ng Committee on Rules doon sa Committee on Appropriations. Yung Committee on Appropriations, yun yung in charge sa budget. That's the biggest membership sa House in terms of members sa Committee on Appropriations. And pagdating sa Committee on Appropriations, gagawa sila ng committee hearings. So, i-hearing yon yung different agencies, walang tulugan yan. Maraming days and nights spent for that hearings. Then, after ma-defend ng different agencies yung kanilang budget, i-approve na yon ng Appropriations Committee. Then, yung Appropriations Committee, yun present na naman. Sila na naman ang mag-defend doon sa plenary. Yun yung tinatawag na second reading. Pag-approve na sa second reading, after na magawa na yung tinatawag natin na final na gap, no? Final na, yung gap pala, yung first reading, may gap na rin yun. Pero yung ma-approve mo sa with all the debates and with all the amendments, kasi second reading may amendments, gagawa ka na ng third reading copy. Yung third reading copy, yun yung i-approve for third reading ng House of Representatives. So, pagkatapos ng third reading sa House of Representatives, dadalhin naman sa Senado yun. Pagdating sa Senado, ganun din ang procedure. May first reading, i-refer sa committee, sa Senado, Senate Committee on Finance sa kanila. Yung Senate Committee on Finance naman, yun naman yung maghihiring, no? So the same procedure as the House of Representatives, hearing ng different agencies, then i-present na naman nila sa plenary ng Senate. Then for third reading sa Senado, for third reading. So usually magkaiba yung version. Kung ano yung na-approve ng House at saka yung na-approve ng Senado. Hindi lang sa budget, karamihan kahit anong batas, usually magkaiba yung version. So most especially sa budget, kasi ang haba ng budget, ang daming figures, madaming agencies. Ginagawa nun, dahil hindi pareho yung resulta, gagawa ngayon ng both houses ng conference committee. Yung House contingent, i-compose yun, i-appoint ng speaker, pero babasahin yun sa plenary. I-compose yung House contingent, then yung Senate contingent sa Bicameral Conference Committee. Then uupo yung dalawang contingent. Yung House contingent at saka yung Senate contingent, sila yung tinatawag na bicameral kasi dalawa ng Senate at saka Bicameral Conference Committee. Yung Bicameral Conference Committee, kanilang i-reconcile yung mga diferensya ng Senate at saka House version. Pag na-reconcile na at natapos na sila, i-approve nila yon at pipirmahan nilang lahat.
Okay.
Pipirmahan nila yung BICAM report. Yung BICAM report naman, ibabalik yun sa plenary. Yung plenary naman, mag-ratify. So kung ano yung napirmahan na Bicameral Conference Committee, ratified by the plenary. So hindi mo na pwedeng baguhin yun kasi ratified by the plenary. Yung ratified version ng plenary ng BICAM report, yun yung maging basis ng tinatawag na enrolled bill.
Okay.
Kasi Yung enrolled bill naman yun, yung pag napirmahan na ng presidente, yun yung tinatawag na General Appropriations Act.
Yeah.
That's why, emphasize natin, importante yung produkto or bicameral conference committee report because that reconciles.
Correct.
So ang issue ngayon, bakit napirmahan na may mga blanco yung bicameral conference committee report? And next issue, bakit nagkaroon ng figures sa GAA? Kasi blanco yung in-approve na BICAM eh. Kita naman natin. Kita natin sa bicameral conference committee report that there are 13 pages with 28 blank items. Then yung blank items na yun, magtataka ka, pagdating sa GAA, walang blank items. Wherein, yun naman ang na-agree nila, di ba? Na-agree na version. So, question, who filled in those blanks?
Correct.
Yun ang tanong. Kasi the legislative mill or legislative process stops in the ratification of the BICAM report. So after the BICAM report, tapos na yung trabaho ng legislation. Pupunta na yon sa presidente for signature.
Correct.
So whoever did that may have or could have usurped the power of Congress because only Congress is authorized to appropriate funds.
Correct. Correct. Thank you very much, Congressman Sid, no, for clarifying that. I think very important na maintindihan ng taong bayan yung kung bakit ba mahalaga itong BICAM. Kasi nga, as you've explained it, Congressman Sid, no, from the House to the Senate, magkaiba yung magiging version kasi both chambers nagsagawa ng committee hearing, right? So sa BICAM, aayusin para magtugma at mag-agree ang lahat. In your years of experience, Kong Sid, as you've mentioned, this is the first time you've been chair sa Operations Committee and sa time mo dyan sa Congress, sa BICAM report, kompleto talaga ang lahat ng item at data.
Kompleto yan because yan yung magiging basis ng legislation eh.
Correct.
You cannot have a legislation that has blanks.
Correct.
And the basis is the Bicameral Conference Committee report. In my 15 years in Congress, wala akong na-encounter pa na blank items except ngayon lang. Ito sa 2025 GAA.
Correct. And that is exactly why we are raising this question. Bakit may blanco sa bicameral report? As you've said, this is the first time and very important kasi kung blanco yun doon, and I think marami nga nagsasabi na these are just fabricated, trying to sow intrigue and controversy. But the truth of the matter is, Kung Sid, hindi lang naman ikaw yung nagsabi, actually, from last week, na may blanco nga. Even some lawmakers now are coming out and saying na may nakita nga sila na bicameral report na may blanco nga. And even news media outlets are already reporting that. And I think that's a valid question to raise, no? Na bakit nga ba may blanco? And that's the start of all this discussion. And right now we are also lucky, no, that we are joined by of the former Secretary of the Department of Budget Management. I think there's wala nang ibang mas credible pa na pwedeng sumama sa usapin na to, Kong Sid, no, to also get his thoughts on this matter. Attorney Wendell, you've heard sides of the discussions on this particular issue. What is your take on this, sir? Being, being the main guy before who also looks into the budget of the government.
Maraming salamat, Harvey. Gusto ko lang situate ang sarili ko. No? On the part of DBM, what is its involvement?
Correct.
Now, from the very start, as already intimated and discussed by Congressman Sid, ang may poder talaga o kapangyarihan na gumawa ng budget base sa Philippine Development Plan at sa Medium-Term Development Plan at base rin sa kung magkano ang pwede talagang gamitin pera para matugunan ang mga pangangailangan ng bansa. Yun yung dadaan sa TBCC yun. Kasi una bes, ang Department of Finance ang magsasaad kung magkano lang ang available at magkano uutangin. Dahil kasi, whether we like it or not, mayroon yung tinatawag na automatic appropriation na gusto man natin o hindi, kailangan, sovereign, obligation. At saka, yung tinatawag na General Administrative Support Services, kasi tatlong aspeto sa budget preparation yan. Yung MOE, or maintenance and operating expense and other expenses, at saka yung capital outlay. No? So, yun. Ang kabuuan nun, yun yung tinatawag na National Expenditure Program, which the President i-recommend niya sa Kongreso. Kaya nga dadalhin yun sa House of Representatives. Kasi sila yung talagang may power naman na mag-appropriate base dun sa pangangailangan ng bansa at base sa rekomendasyon ng Presidente. Meron din silang kailangan gawin at sinabi na nga ni Kong Sid. Ang nakita ko lang din na para sa akin, napakahalaga, ay pagka nagkaroon ng problema o tanong o katanungan dun sa paglalakbay ng budget proposal, no, na nakapaloob sa bill, no, yung General Appropriations Bill. Yun kailangan malaman ng taong bayan yun. No? Kasi pera ng taong bayan yung ginagamit ng gobyerno. At base na rin sa mga nakasaad na, no, nabasa na natin at nasabi na nga ni Kong Sid, hindi po pwedeng magkaroon ng enrolled bill, no, na kung ang pagbabasihan ay salat sa kung ano yun dapat talaga na ilagay sa enrolled bill. Ano yun? May mga blanco doon sa Bicameral Conference Committee report at hindi maipaliwanag kung paano nakarating o nangyari na nagkaroon na ng mga figures o filling of the blanks doon sa enrolled bill. Merong gumawa nun kung sino man hindi natin alam. Merong nag-utos nun kung sino man yun hindi natin alam. Kasi it takes two to tango. Hindi ko naman kung ako technical staff, hindi ko pipilapan yun. Kung walang nagsasabi sa akin na mas mataas sa akin, yan lang ilagay mo, yan lang ilagay mo. Wala akong sinasabing kung ano man sa mga members ng Bicameral Conference Committee. But I think it behooves on them, no, to explain their side. Kasi sila yung nag-approve. Sila yung pumirma ng conference Bicam report na siyang naging basihan ng enrolled bill, which was duly certified as correct by the Secretary General of the House and the Secretary of the Senate, and signed by the Speaker of the House and the Senate President. Kaya ngayon, pagka nangyari na yun, at that is the proof na niratify na yung output ng Bicameral Conference Committee. Kaya nga nagkaroon na nung enrolled bill. But still and all, the question persists na kung ganun pala at may mga blanco, ano nangyari at nagkaroon ng kumpleto na enrolled bill? So yung gap na yun, kailangan ipaliwanag sa taong bayan para maunawaan nila kung ano man ang nangyari noon, kung sasabihin nila, nakaligtaan nila, kung ganot ilang pages yung nakaligtaan nila, sobra naman yata yun. Tapos ang mga senador at mga miyembro ng House of Representatives na nandoon ay siguro naman binasa nila yun. At kung binasa talaga nila yun, makikita nila na meron talaga mga blank space. So, sana at that point in time, ginawa na nila ng paraan na hindi aabot sa ganitong sitwasyon na ang daming katanungan ng taong bayan patungkol sa 2025 national budget natin na aprobado na ng Presidente, subalit merong mga pag-aalinlangan, merong mga huro-huro, merong mga iniisip ng ating mga kababayan na meron yatang kamalian na nangyari dito.
Correct. I think